Hello there. Let's go through the assembly of the MagnaCleanse now and see what we've got. So first of all, let's take the box off the top here of the MagnaCleanse chambers. We'll lie that down on the floor. Actually, let me just turn that around, guys, because on the end here, you have your locking mechanism to stop the lid from sliding off. So make sure when you put it together, you make sure you either unlock it or lock it as such. And obviously when you unlock it, give it a tap, lift the lid off, place it down to one side, and then in the box itself here now we have our double magnetic chambers, scraper, I'll show you that in a moment. You also have your tri-clamps with your blue washers actually in situ. We'll get that stood up again in a moment, but let's go through these other components. So remember what we said, we have two lever arms and two connectors. Let's just pull them out of the bag here and see what we've got. So first of all, take the protective disc off, place that to one side. Unscrew the male connector. This is not made in, you need to be doing this, okay? And inside, just get that, we have a small EPDM seal. In your lever arm, you need to make sure that EPDM seal sits on the ridge. Push it in firmly. All of what I'm going to tell you now are in these instructions, by the way. Possibly put a little bit of PTF or some form of sealant on there and basically put the male thread there, tighten it up, give it a little bit of a pinch. You don't need to over tighten. Okay, maybe just a pair of open enders just to give it a little tweak if you want to. So put those two together. Look, let's just unpack this and see what we've got. There we are. Couple of serrations there. I'm going to show you how to put that on the hose cut piece. Make sure when your drain off and your hose pipe is connected, we put a Jubilee clip around there, and I'll show you that in a moment as well. Let's just open the bags up so we can get all the components out and then we can put it together. Remember what we said, this was that bag that's full of quite a few of them. So 2 cam lock connections, Jubilee clips, and some red caps. I expect these to go on and I'll show you where they belong. So all I need to connect the MagnaCleanse in is a few tools, cutter, screwdriver, a tape measure, and I'm ready to go. So look, let's assemble the machine. One of the hoses I now need to cut down to fit my drain off facility. Okay, but before we do that, let's connect one of our valves. So first of all, with your Jubilee clip, pop that over the hose. Now, you may need to just put a bit of warmth, a hot cup of water. Be very careful, please, when you're doing this. Maybe just to soften the hose up a little bit, put it into the water just to soften that up a little bit, because I want us to push the hose right up on the serrations here. So look, here we go. Right up to the back of the fitting there. Probably with a little bit of warmth on there, I'll just make it a little bit easier. Don't have any gaps. Make sure the hose is right up to the lever arm. Our Jubilee clip now can come along. Now, first of all, I don't want it there. I don't want it there. What I want is approximately a finger's depth away from the edge there, and then we shall tighten it up. Okay? Using the correct gear. Let's make sure when we put the Jubilee clip together, we make sure that when it comes out, our end comes out, we don't want it in the way of our lever arm. So let's put it round a little bit. Finger's depth, round. Let me just get that going. Just make sure again, finger's depth. Remember our red caps we spoke about? On the end of the Jubilee clip where the tail has come through, push down, that's now protecting. Okay? And we're on. Stand that up into our tray. So that stands up in the tray nice and easily. We'll just undo the bottom tri-clamp connection, because make sure that your return water always comes into the bottom of the chamber. There's an arrow on the side here, actually. There is an arrow just here, which is quite difficult to see actually, but I promise you there is, with an arrow direction. So your return water comes into the bottom of the MagnaCleanse chamber. Make sure your thick blue washer is in good order and place that over the edge. Now, with the hose we've just put together, And with our tri-clamp, let's open it right up. Make sure it's open right fully. Right, we're just going to now connect our hose to the bottom of our MagnaCleanse. Now, a little tip from me is basically let's lift the MagnaCleanse up, let's put it on its back. Okay, gravity is a tremendous thing. So we're going to connect the hose now to this bottom port here. So you can see with the machine on its back there now, I can just push the fitting down against the blue seal. With your tri-clamp, just place it round. There we are, nice and easy to do. And tighten it up. Bring that round so you can see your nut there just to pinch up. There we are. Nice and tight. Very easy to do. We now need to connect our drain off facility. Okay, so the drain off facility is approximately 300 mil. From the valve, okay? And what we're going to do with our cutters, we're just going to cut the hose, okay? So let's just do that. Got a nice clean cut. So obviously now we need 2 Jubilee clips, one to go on this way and one to go on there. So make sure your drain off is sticking away from the unit, not inwards. We want the drain off away from the unit, okay? Now, very, very careful here. Just a little tip, but we must be very, very careful. Health and safety at all times, please. Got a little bit of hot water here in a mug. I should be having a cup of tea with it later on, don't you worry. Let's just pop the end of that hose into the water here. I'm just going to soften that up a little bit. Just for 5–10 seconds. Be very careful, please. Put that to one side at the front there. We've got our Jubilee clip on. Remember to put that on first, obviously, because we now need to drain off away from the unit, the point away. With that on there now, push in firmly, twist. There we are. And because we warmed that up a little bit, that's gone on there nice and easy. Now, you can see I've got the drain off away from there. Let's get the right screwdriver this time. Let's make sure we're in a good place. Let's just start the Jubilee clip off. And again, remember what we said. Let's not get too excited. I want it a finger's depth away. I don't want it down on here. And I don't want it right up against the back. I want it a finger's depth away. So let's make sure we get that in a good place. And let's get it tucked away. Remember where we're going to be looking. Our hose is coming on now. I don't want that. I want to put that out the way so it's not in my way. Let's tighten that up. Red cap again, remember what we said? Place that onto there, and away we go. Place against the MagnaCleanse machine at the top here. Drop your tri-clamp over the edges there. Just pull round, lap underneath and tighten up. Really easy to do. Good. We're starting to take a bit of shape now. So we've got our bottom connection, we've got our drain off cutting, and we now have 2 cam lock connections. These will obviously go nicely onto our fitting, which we'll show later on, but we now need to make sure we get our hose right up home. So look, we've now got our MagnaCleanse connected, ready to go now to our filter connection.